Okay, so for the first video I made, I said that I was going to be doing a 370Z install videos, and that has now changed. It has been a few years, and I have wrecked the car, so now I am fixing it. It was a front end collision on this side, and it took off that corner part of the radiator housing. This is the brand new one, but it took that part off. So we are putting that back on. I'm going to do a quick recap of what we had to take off. We had to take off all the bolts for these upper holdings on both sides that came across and had the bracket. That's this part, these parts here. These parts here, you have to remove the top radiator mounting areas. You also have to disconnect all your bracketing that holds underneath of your headlight there. Both headlights have to be taken off on both sides. And then there's some bolts down here that hold it in here. Same on the other side. And you also have to remove the radiator fans on the back, which are just these screws. And then you pull it up off the back of the radiator. Yeah. If you need to redo your belt, now is the time as well, along with the alternator. It is open and here. But I'm gonna go ahead and put back on the housing before it gets dark. I'm going to do a quick compilation of all the screws that go into putting it back together. The first two are these top two that are holding in the fans. Those are the only two that are holding in the fan. The bottom is held in by basically just sliding it in. Yeah. The next screw is on the airbag sensor right in the center.
Brandon, this
right there. And then there's 4 of these size bolts with the hats
so these fans
that sit right here and right here underneath. Okay, now that those 2 were connected, those 4 were connected, move up here and put your radiator back in with reconnecting your AC lines. At this point, they'll just slide through this bracket that you transfer over to your new one. This is a screw. And then that should be it. And then reconnect your radiator hoses there and at the bottom, and then your AC line and your radiator will be reconnected. Next, we use 2 of these flathead or washer bolts and put them back on the coolant reservoir in that spot. And that spot after reconnecting your coolant overflow, and then connecting this coolant overflow return line. Alright, to add these brackets back to the front, you're gonna first attach the, what's under here? Nothing's under there. First you have to attach this long solid bracket that's sitting underneath with the foam. That sits and covers the top of your radiator, and that's the plate for it. And the same on this side, but then this front bracket here is connected on top of it with your hood support. And that has your screws here, and you screw, that's for your headlights. These outside screws are for the corner of your headlights. And so then after that, you'll screw those in to secure it, and you'll also screw in it here to secure it to the radiator housing, along with your screw down here for this whole support brace. These are the screws for the bracketing that connects these two. And these front screws here are for a front brace that sits right along the front, and then your plastic covering goes on right here. And poof, it is now reconnected with my new bracketing that I ordered from Z1. Yeah, promotion, whatever. And then, yeah, so all this is connected. All of this is connected by this bolt, and this bolt. This is where your plastic sits on top of. But yep. And then I have some coolers in the front, so I have to reconnect those down here for my power steering cooler. And then I have my oil cooler sitting over there still connected. But yep, I'm gonna connect that. All right, after putting on my coolers again, you now have to get this bracket here screwed on. This bracket helps support these plates, and that connects up here with your latch. Here's your 2 latch bolts, 2 more latch bolts, and this is its corner. All right, so then this next part, you have to reconnect your horn get your clasp, if you're redoing it, get that reconnected or just back together. That feeds under and goes into the back of this loop right back there on the spring. Same thing on this side. Small spring. Let's see if I can get that to focus. There it is. It's right there back behind the spring. And it connects with the plastic part like this. Let's see if I can, yeah, there we go. So that connects into there. And this one, you can't really see it. Let's see if I can, there it is. So, yep. Get those connected. Get your wiring put back through with this connection bracket back up here, right there. Runs behind the pillar, connects there again. And that's where your other horn bracket is right there. Runs across, I just have it zip tied. This is for the latch sensor. I still am trying to figure out where it connects to. Can't remember, but I'm gonna connect that. And then there's one more clip back here that clips in together right there. That's for your coolant temperature sensor.